Hey Bookends, welcome to a 10-min check-in. I'm 10. I know it's been a while, but there's a reason for that. So just jumping right on in. This is February, so it is African American or Black History Month in America. So if you're familiar with America, this is the month that we celebrate or commemorate or acknowledge all of the wonderful accomplishments that Black people have given to this country. So my plans for this month were to read as many books either written by African Americans or that star African American protagonists, but fiction wise. And I wanted to avoid Black trauma porn because it seems to be what is celebrated right now. A lot of publishing houses are backing, or I shouldn't say backing, but backing more the Black trauma books that show the hood life, the ghetto life, the running from the police life, the got one man and that one man got 3 different women life, that got no daddy life, that my mama on drugs life. So I wanted to avoid all of that and just read some science fiction or fantasy or even just, fiction about Black people. And I was disappointed. Not by Black people. Not by my people. I was not disappointed by my people. I was disappointed by how my people are framed when it comes to the literary world. So to give you an example of that, I went into Barnes & Noble's website, and they have a section to celebrate African American or Black History Month. So, yay! You're making it easy for me, Barnes & Noble. You're making it easy. Let me have a look. Open it up. Lots of Black trauma porn, but I'm moving past that. Moving past it. Whatever. I go to the YA section or the teen section, right? Because YA, that usually is some sort of fantasy, some sort of science fiction, something otherworldly that's going to take me from my world into another world, because that's usually how it works. Even if it's contemporary, it's going to take me from where I am here and bring me to someplace else. That's not what I was met with. So let me just let you know what I saw. Pulling it up. Don't make me a liar. So I'm pulling it up so I can have a look at it while I talk to you. No lie. So on the first page, I'm on my cell phone. So if you look on my computer, it may appear differently. On the first page, it shows 17 different options for books. All of the 17, or well, I should say 15 out of the 17 choices are Black trauma porn. So I'm just gonna go through it. Either Black trauma porn or just a bunch of realism, no fantasy. And this is supposed to be in the fiction section. And I did say YA, but I don't think I mentioned fiction. This is fiction. So let's go through it. The Bluest Eye by Toni Morrison. The Hate You Give. American Street. Dear Martin. All the American Boys. Black Boys Hands Up. Beloved. On the Come Up. Warriors Don't Cry. Skin I'm In. Piecing Me Together. Native Son. Black Boy. The Sun is also a star, which isn't really Black trauma porn, so that's not so bad, but throwing in, so that's okay. The Long Way Down. Race Matters. There are 2, maybe 3 things on this that aren't Black trauma porn. Child of Bone and Blood, which is a fantasy type magical novel. I'm not reading it, but it's not Black trauma porn. So Swing, which I believe is about a band, a boy trying to get into a band, I believe, or something to that effect. And The Sun is also a star. So when it comes to, and that is actually the entire list. It's not just the first page. This is the entire list of YA for African American History Month. So between 15 to 14 of the 17 novels that are there for African American History Month for young adult readers is about some sort of struggle. Some sort of struggle based either on race, politics, economical structure, or all three put together. So to go over it, it's like, okay, all the American boys. That's about race, that's about politics. Dear Martin, that was about race, that was about economical structure and politics, because, you know, kid got shot. American Street, so you can already guess what that's about. The Hate You Give. So there's nothing, when it comes to black people, even black children, black teenagers, they're not being fed anything imaginative. Nothing imaginative is being made available for them. It's, no, Hakeem, you are black. You cannot go to space. You cannot fight a dragon. You cannot go into the future. You can't time travel. That is not you, Hakeem. No. For your month, you will hear about so-and-so being shot by the police and the riots that ensue. You will hear about such and such wanting to become a rapper and all the trials that they have to go through to get there. You will have to hear about why so-and-so thinks their skin color is horrible and needs to be uplifted because of that. That's what you can read about. Everyone else, they can have their imaginative fun. They can go into the future. They can fight a dragon. They can go into space. They can be a spaceship captain. They can be all that. But no, Hakeem, for your month, you will learn that being black is hard. Even in fiction, being black is hard. You can never be anything but someone in the streets, even in fiction, because being black is hard. Your only protagonist, or I should say your only antagonist, will ever be the police and the system, because being black is hard. You can't fight aliens. No. There can't be a warring kingdom against your kingdom and you're a valiant knight or a valiant prince or a valiant king and you're going to fight the fight. Nope. You are in the hood. You are an innocent black boy just trying to live his life, and you are going to be shot by the police. That is your struggle. I was insulted. Now, let me not be a liar. Let me not make anyone feel bad. Let me go into YA, just regular YA, on Barnes & Noble's site. So let's just go to regular YA, browse by subject. We are going to choose fiction, because that's what I do. I do fiction. So let's browse this. Let's do subject, and let's do teen. Okay, so this is the YA section, which is not African American, just the regular YA section. And we're just going to do just the first page. That's it, just the first page. So, choices for first page. Lock and Key, Volume 1. Outlander. Lock and Key, Volume 2. Lock and Key, Volume 3. Alice Adventures in Wonderland Through the Looking Glass. Have you seen Louis Velez? The Giver. Twilight. Mouse. The Alchemist, Gift Edition. All the King's Men. Othello. Mouse, A Survivor's Tale. Mrs. Dalloway. Peter Pan, Ghost World. Monster. Oh, by the way, Monster is a book about a black child who, you can look it up, but Monster. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. Wish Tree. Good Omens. That's the first page. So on the first page of the YA section, we have all these different protagonists, all of whom are either white or light ethnic. The only one that has a black person is Monster, and once again, it's more black trauma porn. So can you see where I'm going with this? Even in the month that's supposed to be dedicated to us, what we've done in the past and perhaps what we're going to do in the future, we're still pigeonholed into this street aesthetic. This "you can never be better than the struggles that you currently face" aesthetic. And it's irritating, because if you look at an Irish person, right, an Irish person isn't going to be limited to books on the potato famine. They're not going to be limited to the potato famine. Like, all their books aren't going to be based on, oh, we were starving. No, because they can have contemporary romance. They can be a captain in a science fiction. They can fight dragons. They can do all that. When it comes to most other ethnicities, they are not quarantined to one particular setting, which is always the hood. Like those other books I read you, they are either city hood or country hood. Bluest Eye, country hood, I believe. Those Beloved, I know, is in country hood. But the other books, Dear Martin, On the Come Up, They Hate You Give, they're all in hood settings. So step one, we can't get out the hood. Even in fiction, in our month, in fiction, we can't get out the hood. We stuck here. This is where we live. Any other ethnicity, they can go wherever they want to go. To the moon and back, they can go. But for black people, no. Hakeem and Shamika are stuck in the hood. That's where we're going to stay. Neither you are a gangbanger, you are misunderstood and thought to be a gangbanger, or you want to be a rapper. Pick one. And either you have to do something shicey to get out the hood, or you gotta die and become a martyr in the hood. Pick one. And either you have to be so pro-black you don't see any other color in the world, or you have to hate yourself so much you want to bleach your skin and tear it off so you see the flesh beneath. You don't get anything in between. You can't just be a human being who happens to be black and wants to do things. So I was very annoyed. Thankfully, I belong to different Facebook groups who were able to give me some suggestions of independent or indie authors who have written some very imaginative fictions and fantasies, and I can't wait to showcase them in March when I go over what was read in February. But I was just so flipping angry that this is how we're being portrayed. And I wanted to give this video a little bit of time to aerate before actually recording it, because I wanted to see if maybe Barnes & Noble's page would change or would update. Maybe someone would complain and they would do something different. But they didn't. And even when I went into the African American section of Barnes & Noble and store, it was hood books. There was nothing, and there's nothing wrong with hood books if you like hood books. But imagine if you liked hood books, but the only type of book they had for black people was science fiction. Like, you could never see a black person in a hood book. You only could see them in a science fiction book. Imagine like how that would feel. So, like when I went to this section, it was nothing but hood books. Which, if you don't know what hood books are, urban fiction, it's basically, you know, so-and-so's dating a drug dealer, and that drug dealer is the king of these streets. And she gonna be his queen, but she gotta get rid of the other chick that wants to be the queen too. But his baby mama like, nah, bruh, I'm not gonna be nobody's underling. I'm gonna be the queen. Which one of these girls gonna get his love? That's not what I want to read. That's not what I want to read. Or someone who's considered like a boss chick or a boss, B-word, because she get money in these streets and play these, well, N-words for what she can get. And she strip and she tip and she trap and she got it like that. Like, I don't want to read that. I don't. Not to say there isn't a market for it. Not to say that those books shouldn't exist, because they should exist for the people who want to read that. Everyone has the right to read the kind of literature that they want to read. It's bad when a whole demographic, when a whole section of people are pigeonholed into one situation, which is a hood situation, generally doing illegal stuff or being surrounded by illegal stuff, and forced into one setting, one geographical setting. And by one geographical setting, I mean the hood, the ghetto. It don't matter what city, what town, what state, what area, always the hood. I was just so annoyed. Like, there was literally nothing but hood books. If I go to the mall tomorrow, I might take some pictures and put it on Instagram. If I do, I'll edit the video and add, or maybe just edit the comments in the video and add a link to the Instagram in it if I do it. But it was disheartening, because on the website there is nothing fanciful or fantasy inducing. In the store there was nothing fantasy or fantasy inducing. All of it was just plight triggering. That's it. Just triggering. Like, psst, hey you. Yeah, you want to read a fiction? Yeah, you get shot. Oh, you don't like that one? Okay, no, I got another one. You want to read another fiction? Guess what? Your skin color sucks. Okay, no, we're gonna do another one. Okay. Want to hear another thing? I got another thing for you. You're pregnant. 12. None of these appeal to you? None of them? Okay, what about not you getting shot? What about your best friend got shot and you start the riot? No, that's not good for you? Okay, we'll move on to the next thing. What about you in love with a drug dealer? What if you are the drug dealer? What if you playing out all the drug dealers and you're a stripper with a banging body? That's not what I want to read. It isn't. It may be for some people, but it's not what I want to read. And the fact that these books are being peddled to our young people as if there is no place for you to aspire to, even literary wise. There's no place for you to imagine to go, and there's also no different kind of literature that you can aspire to write. This is where you are. This is where you stay. And if you have anything to imagine, you don't imagine to the sky, you imagine to the apartment over. You don't imagine what could be, you imagine what your neighbor is doing, and then you write that. Because you have no future and your past doesn't matter. What matters right now is that hood life. That irritated my soul. This has been like a very long rant, and I apologize for that. Yeah. I hope to have a I can't even speak. I hope to have a rundown of the books that I read in February and my thoughts of them to come out hopefully in the beginning of March, as well as reviews to come out. But I've just been so hyper pissed that I had to ruminate to figure out how to say what I wanted to say without sounding too harsh. Although I probably sound hyper harsh anyway, so yeah. But thank you so much for watching. If you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you again hopefully next week. Bye, Bookends.